This is The Wow Show, the first all-female sports podcast produced and supported by an NFL team. Join co-hosts Jade Kenny, Janine Samuels, and Stephanie Chajokian as they welcome guests ranging from authors to athletes to public officials and their families, all to inspire, motivate, and make change within ourselves. We keep you up to date on all things Washington football, plus discussing topics that matter most to women. Our goal is to connect and empower women through sports by sharing power-packed strategies to help you level up your mind, body, and soul, all while rooting on our burgundy and gold.
With the 19th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Washington football team selects Jamin Davis, linebacker, Kentucky.
The picks are in, and the 2021 rookie draft class has been selected, and today's show is fully loaded with all things Washington football, and of course, digging into who those new additions are for the team. This is The Wow, brought to you by Fresh Fine Wine.
That is right. And let's all just raise a glass, right? Of Fresh Fine Wines to celebrate our 2021 picks. And of course, our guest today that really doesn't need an introduction, but just in case, Fred Smoot is here with us today. He's a former cornerback for the National Football League for 9 seasons. He played college football for Mississippi State University and was recognized as an All-American. Washington chose him. We are smart in the second round of the 2001 NFL Draft, 45th pick overall, and he has also played professionally for some other team, but we won't even mention that right now.
We're gonna leave it in the past. Leave it in the past.
And you came back home anyway. Fred, welcome. How are you? We're so excited to have you on today.
Well, thank you, ladies. Thank y'all for having me on. Thank you for letting me just intrude on the Wild Show. Thank you so much.
It's all right. We were joking before and we said the Wow Show. Well, no. This is going to be the Fred Smoot Show today.
Yes, it is.
So obviously we want to talk about our picks, and we're going to start with our number one pick. So 19th overall, Jamin Davis from Kentucky.
Yes.
But before we get your thoughts on him, let's just give a little bit of background, a quick little recap of who he is. First of all, he was born into a military family and actually on a military base in Honolulu, Hawaii. Just doesn't get any better than that. His parents part of the United States Army. He was raised in Georgia starting at the age of 1. He attended Long County High School and he played both linebacker and wide receiver. And then he played college ball at Kentucky, of course. He was redshirted his freshman year and did pretty good there as a linebacker eventually, and noted that he wasn't slated to start last season, but due to a teammate's medical injury, he did, and he made a huge impact and obviously got the attention of Coach Rivera. So the Washington football team coaching staff basically had Jamin as the highest ranked player defensively. They said that he checked all of the boxes, which is obviously why we picked him. But Fred, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, he has one of the best nicknames you can come in as a rookie with. His nickname is Shadow. If you're going to play defense, your nickname is Shadow. That says it all. And just looking at, the rest of the draft picks and him, I think coaching them finally, they was patient and they got everybody they wanted. Think about this. The head coach is an ex-linebacker. The defensive coordinator is an ex-linebacker. The one position that they know how to find is linebacker. And you want to talk about the intangibles. Coach is from a military family. This kid is from a military family. So when these things pop up and you be like, I know where it came from, that's the whole draft process. You find the guy you like. That's what they always told us in the draft. You only need one team to like you. You don't need all 32. You need one team to like you. And Jamin Davis just checks all the boxes on the culture that they're trying to create around here, his playmaking ability. Don't forget he's 6'3", 255 pounds and run a 4.40. That's a freight train coming at you, and he don't push the brakes. All right, so you got to love that, and he has immense leadership skills, and I think that's what coach is trying to get: the personalities to blend together in the locker room, and the leadership skill, the guy that brings something other than football playing to the table, some intangibles, and that's what he brings a lot of.
Yeah, and then there were some critiques on him just on the sense of that he needs to work on pass defense. So what are your thoughts on that? What does he need to do to make sure that we kind of shut up all that noise?
Well, he actually covers like a Fred Smoot at linebacker. He was the highest rated coverage linebacker. All right, and if you really want to see this guy really get out there and cover, watch him against a Martian by the name of Kyle Pitts. And I tell Kyle, if you can check Kyle Pitts, you can check anybody in the NFL. If you watch the Kentucky-Florida film, Jamin Davis is all over him, and he was actually the best matchup for him. He had one interception that he ran back for 80 yards. He had four interceptions, 3 of them in the red zone. So he has great awareness on when to feel it. All this guy needs is reps, more reps, more reps. You brought it up, Janine. He only started 1 year. All right. So now it's all about getting him in, getting him some reps, and see can he not only play the middle linebacker position, but also call the plays and line the other 10 guys up.
I think, he does want to prove himself, because in an interview he said, I'm going to bed. That's how I'm celebrating. I'm getting my rest and I'm coming to show you guys what I can do. So I love to hear that.
Well, he's all work. Come on, when you come from a military family, think about when he got in trouble. He probably had to do like 500 push-ups in the kitchen. When you got a military dad, times can get hard on you.
Absolutely. And like you said, Coach Ron Rivera, he wants a winning culture, and winning culture starts with character, not just his ability, his talent, his skills, and he's got both. So I'm excited to see what our number 1 pick's going to do. Our first round pick. Let's move right along into your thoughts on round 2 and 3. We have the 51st pick, offensive tackle, Sam Cosmi. How do you feel about that one?
Ooh, all I gotta do is put this gun up, because he got major guns. When I say this guy is huge, this guy is huge. In Texas, they like everything bigger in Texas. Where they didn't leave him out. Sam is there. He's huge and he's very athletic. And just talking back and forth with Coach would say he was a raw prospect. He dominated the Big 12 with no technique. So he was like, wait till we get this guy in-house, teach him technique, put him on that left side, let him practice against Montez Sweat, Chase Young, John Allen, and the rest of those guys. What kind of guy do we have here? The potential is through the roof. So the great part about all of these draft picks, what they have in common, none of them peaked out in college. None of them reached their peak in college. All of them have so much room to get so much better, but they all, how should I say, did well on the college level enough to go in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, he was, they said, smart player. He started all but one of his 35 games in his career. So that's interesting that you're saying he still hasn't peaked yet, because he did start a lot. Very smart, as I know we want to have. And yeah, just to be left tackle, hopefully across from Morgan Moses, is going to be fantastic.
Well, what you don't know, Stephanie, is the offensive line is the nerd group of the football team. So they come smart. If you get a dumb lineman, you have really messed up in the draft.
Yeah, like you said, Fred, I'm really excited to see him get to work and him to grow, especially with Chase Young and what he's got going on over there. So let's move along to round 3. We have Benjamin St. Juice. I just love saying his name. And we have De'Ami Brown. What are your thoughts on round 3?
I love Benjamin. He's a cornerback. Why wouldn't I love the cornerback out the group? But he's tall. This guy's tall. This guy's Richard Sherman tall. This guy's 6'3", 200 pounds. Usually you don't get corners that tall that can move like this guy can. The hips that he have coming in and out the cuts. And he's a fascinating character. Like, as I had conversation with him, things came up in the conversation. First of all, he's from Canada. He speaks 3 languages. So they tell you his intelligence. And not only did he go to the Vatican, he actually gave the Pope a pair of Jordans. Yes, you heard it from me first right here. The Pope is jaywalking in Rome as we speak. This guy gave the Pope his Jordans, and I think the Pope actually rocked him.
See a picture of that, like, seriously.
No, seriously, it's a true story, because Jim Harbaugh in Michigan, this guy was at Michigan first, and Jim Harbaugh took the whole football team to Rome. And while he was at Rome, they got to go to the Vatican. And as he sit and talked to the Pope told him he never owned a pair of tennis shoes. So he was like, well, now you do own a pair of tennis shoes. So that's got to be one of the best stories you can ever tell your kids.
That is fascinating. And we also have De'Ami Brown adding to our fast wide receiver competition.
Yeah, De'Ami Brown, this guy right here, everybody thought he was actually going to go sooner than he actually did. This guy from North Carolina, he can run with the best of them, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, and his best route is a go route. And that's what we want to do. I think when Coach looked at this draft and said, let me add a wide receiver, he wanted to add 1, speed, Two, people that can catch over the middle. Like coach is all about toughness. He don't like you to be one-dimensional. Nobody in this draft class is one-dimensional. Benjamin St. Louis can play safety, corner, and nickel. Sam Cosmic can play left tackle and right tackle. So these guys can do a little bit of whatever you need for them to do for your team. And Diamond Brown won't be left out of this chart. Hey, listen to me. Terry is your number one. He's going to get most of your balls. So you always have to have a clear-out guy. And that clear-out guy has to have burners. And this guy has burners. So he won't just be clearing out. We're going to toss, Fitzmagic going to toss 2 or 3 of these up to him every game to see can he run under.
So when you say go-to route, they said Diami is dangerous on slants. What does that mean?
Well, slant means 5 yards and literally slant inside of the defensive back. So this is going to be a catch and run route. It's going to be a quick route. It's what we call a 3-step route. So when the quarterback hikes the ball, it'll be 1, 2, 3. The ball got to be left out of his hand. And that's when they run a quick slant, usually against man coverage. So he's a man beater. So if you get him out there and you get him one-on-one, he can do some damage and he can rack up yards. And I'm going to tell you what we don't like when it comes to wide receivers. Now, you might like Yak in the club, but we don't like Yak on the football field. That's yards out to the catch. And great wide receivers are great at Yak. I don't know if it's mixed with Coca-Cola, but they great at Yak.
Oh my God, I don't even know where to go with that one. We're going to move right along. We're going to move right along and wrap this segment up with day 3, rounds 4 through 7. Who's your guy?
Oh, I love John Bates. I never usually go with a guy with the regular name. I always say, if a guy got a regular name in sports, I'll show you a regular player. And that's the way it usually goes. Well, you get no more regular than John Bates. All of us has met at least 10 John Bates in our life. But what makes this guy special, he's already a polished blocker. But talking to coach, he was like, you know what? This the type guy that didn't have but 20 opportunities to catch the ball. But if he had 60 opportunities to catch the ball, we're looking at a 50 catch tight end. So he haven't even got close to peaking. So John Bates, do not be shocked in the middle of the year if John Bates has just as many catches at tight end as Logan Thomas, because he can get out there and get the job done. And I got to give some love to my guy Cheeseman, Cameron Cheeseman. Yes, a long snapper, and his name is the Cheese. I think we're going to love this guy for a while, because long snappers, they stay around, all right? They stay around. When the coaching staff comes in, a long snapper could be here for 10, 11, 12 years. I think Cheese is going to be that guy. And Cheese didn't even play football last year. He was actually working at a dentist's office. All right? He went to Michigan, and he was going to dentist school at Ohio State. So Cheese got a little trader in him, but we're going to push that to the side and say, you know what? We got one of the better long snappers in the draft, and I think Cheese is going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, and of course the name. So I know that, that in and of itself, you like him just for that. So
yeah, you can't cut the cheese. Like, coach will never be able to cut the cheese. Never in his life.
Now, just for, rounds 4 through 7, any surprises in our picks, or is there anyone in particular that you can't wait to see what will happen in the upcoming season?
Well, you know what? Talking to the 7 rounders, it's always fun. For much, it's draft day is a dream come true for some of us. Sometimes it's a little nightmare sprinkled in there. And some of us have to wait longer than we anticipated. And it just get the fires just going. So when I was talking to the 6 and 7 rounders, William Bradley King, Shaka Tony, they was happy, but they was mad. All right, they was mad. I had to wait 3 days for my name to get called. I got to come here. I got to prove this. And you get that all the time with these 6, 7 rounders, 5th rounders. They come in with a chip on their shoulder because they feel like they've been slighted during the draft, their dream day. So these guys going to come in with their hair on fire trying to prove to the people, you took me later than you should have, and now the NFL has to pay. I love guys with that chip on their shoulder. So we got 2 rushers, all right, that's going to come from Penn State and Baylor that watch out for these guys. They won't start out with Chase Young and Montez Sweat, but rotational guys, these guys will play ball. Coach said he didn't draft them in the 7th round for them to just sit there on the field. He's going to let these guys play.
Well, I'm hyped up right now. I'm ready for football season to start. You got me all fired. I'm like,
that's the least I can do. That's the least I can do as a good time coordinator.
Yeah, and I think I'm actually more excited now to see our picks for like 6 and 7 than our number 1 round pick. So I'm like, let's do it.
Well, it's always the hunger rooms. It's like if you're a part of the wolf pack, the alpha leader is probably the hungriest one, man. The guy that still feel like he has something to prove. Like, I hate to break the news to everybody, but 60% of the first round are going to be bust. All right, they already feel like they made it. They achieved what they want to achieve. but then they're going to forget to play football for the next 5 years. Like, then you're going to have this group of guys that can't wait to prove themselves in and out every day. And these are the guys that are going to make up the NFL in 10 years. We see it every year. The NFL is 60% non-drafted guys, 7-rounders, 6-rounders, and 5th-rounders. That's what makes the meat of the NFL.
Absolutely. And I'm thrilled and excited to see what's going to happen out of this class. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get to know Fred a little bit more, take a stroll down memory lane, and get to learn a little bit about what your draft experience was like. That's coming up next.
I was mad too.
Has your business been affected by COVID-19? Have you considered reducing or moving your office space? Then it's time to call Victory Van. We provide the best service and price with flexible options for your company's moving and storage needs. Visit victoryvan.com to get your free moving and storage quote today. For corporate storage and moving, it's always the right move to choose Victory Van. That's victoryvan.com, Victory Van Corporation, delivering excellence for 75 years and proud partner of the Washington football team.
Finch Services Incorporated, recognized in its industry as a world-class organization, is the exclusive supplier of John Deere golf and sports turf maintenance equipment for the Mid-Atlantic region. In business since 1945, Finch helps golf course and sports turf managers maintain some of the most exclusive playing surfaces in the region. Experience the Finch advantage for yourself. Contact one of our golf and sports turf sales specialists to see how we can help you maintain your field of dreams. Go to finchturf.com for more information.
At RTS, game day strategy doesn't stop when the whistle blows. RTS delivers smarter, more responsible waste and recycling services. As an official partner of the Washington football team, RTS is connecting the team and FedEx Field with sustainable solutions to care for the community and the environment. RTS, a better waste company. Find out more at rts.com.
Welcome back to the WOW. We are going to take full advantage of having Fred here and get to know him a little bit more. We just joked about this, but I figured, why don't we kick this segment off with a little this or that? Not that you're not warmed up and ready to go, but it'll be a little bit of fun for our listeners to hear.
All right, I'm with you. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, we're going to start. Waffles or pancakes?
Waffles.
Oh, not even a hesitation there.
No, not a hesitation. The waffle, they are basically the same thing. The waffle just gives you the indentions to put your syrup in there, so it's not messy like a pancake. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I love that. And then also for the butter to melt and just sit in the pocket so that when you
don't do that to me, Janine. It's too early in the morning. Don't do that.
All right, next one: draft season or preseason?
Ooh, now that's a hard one. I think it's going to be draft season to me because it's the day that dreams come true. It's the day that the Trail of Tears is what I call it. It's the happiest moms and dads in the world. They've watched you dream this dream for 20 plus years, and for that night to come and you to share that with your family. Your life don't change. You and your family life changes. Your last names, everything changes that day, in the future change of your family and everybody else. So I'm going to go with draft day.
All right. How about blowout victory or win in overtime?
I'm going to go with win in overtime. Like, you want to just poke the bear when you do it to them. Like when you blow somebody out, at halftime, they've already checked out. They're thinking about the next game, putting it behind them. But when you give them that gut punch in overtime, I don't care if it's a field goal, walk-off touchdown, it just lingers with them for like 3 or 4 days. Like, that's what coaches teach you in the league. We got to get over the wins and we got to get over the loss. We always got to go to the next. But some losses are harder to get over because some will leave you in the middle of that field as a grown man crying. And grown men are ugly when they cry. And plus, it ain't no tissue on the field.
I'm with you for that one. Red Wolves or Red Tails?
Ooh, that ain't no question. I am the alpha wolf. I am the red wolf. Fred Art Stark. I'm gonna go with the red wolf. I just think the red wolf is a unifying thing. Think about not only me, you. Think about your nephew, your nieces, your sons, your daughter sitting in there watching that game with you, and Chase Young get a sack, and all of us just howling like wolves. Like you can just run with that. That's 80,000 howling like wolves. Don't you know, if we did that at FedEx Field, we could actually howl so loud that the dogs in a 20-mile radius would start to howl with us. Like, it's just a crazy scenario.
Talk about my dog at home howling on game day. I like it.
I think I have to practice my how. I don't really know.
I gotta work on that.
Yeah, don't worry. I gotta practice mine too, but hopefully we practice it for a good reason.
For
We
sure.
got time.
All right, last but not least, I have to ask you this one because we always are debating this. Sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie?
First of all, I'm just so disappointed in most answers that I get out of this. I didn't even know pumpkin pie existed. I thought a pumpkin was only for Halloween as as you set it on your porch, it's not meant to be eaten. Sweet potato pie, I am from Mississippi. My grandmama would come down and strike me down if I didn't say sweet potato pie. Sweet potato pie brings the South together. Sweet potato pie is part of a culture. Now, pumpkin pie, on the other hand, I didn't even know it exists. I'm sure ladies here, y'all are more pumpkin pie than sweet potato pie. I know Janine is, and I can't believe it.
Janine, you did this on purpose because he laid me out during a rally on that.
I did. Stephanie, I had to sneak that one in because
I was like,
debate.
No, you can tell a lot. You can tell a lot by a person by that answer. You can tell a lot by the person. Like if you're looking for some person with some flavor, they have to eat sweet potato pie. You're looking for some people with that flavor, pumpkin pie is what they eat. I never even thought somebody could literally get out their car, walk into the grocery store, and ask a clerk, "Can I buy pumpkin pie?" Who does that?
Well, my favorite, just for the record, is pecan pie. Not even in the mix. So,
well, pecan is the Southern delight. Now we're talking. Now we're talking about something that's different. Like I've never heard anybody say, "You know what? I'm going to get a pumpkin today because I'm going to make like 5 pumpkin dishes." All right, we don't actually think about pumpkin until November rolls around, and I can't go in Starbucks without everything being a little splash of pumpkin in it. I can go to the 7-Eleven. They serving pumpkin. So at the end of the day, they just tell you it's a surplus of pumpkin because ain't nobody eating it.
All right, Fred, we're going to move right along. Take us back to your draft experience. What was it like when you heard your name called, going through the draft, and what was the first thing you did after the announcement?
All right. I was in Jackson, Mississippi, where I'm from. I'm a big grandmama's baby. So I was, my mama had when she was 15. So it was me, my mom, my grandmama. We all sat there, we all talked. And, grandmas like to give, they like to get their knowledge in code. So my grandma was always one of them. I'm like, just tell me. I can't be figuring it out. Just tell me what's going on. And she's like, you stop being nervous because I'm never nervous, right? But this night I was nervous because it's draft night. She's like, whatever gonna happen, boy, it's gonna happen. Just sit down, watch it. So I'm watching as the names go. And at the time, I'm slotted as a top 15 pick. But I see my name is the best available, but it's 10 picks later and I'm not picked yet. So I'm starting to get mad. I'm starting to get mad. And my grandma like, boy, everything happened for a reason. Just relax. So then I get a call from Dan Snyder in Washington. They were like, you want to be a Washington football player? Of course, we know the old name. And I was like, yeah, I want to be a Washington football player. So then Marsh Stotterheim got on the phone and welcomed me to the team. Dan welcomed me to the team. And then I watched my name go across that screen. Of course, tears came down my eyes. I started talking. And of course, the media was there from Mississippi. So they couldn't wait to put a mic in my face. And they were wondering why I was like celebrating. And I was still hot. I was mad. So, and I said this little line afterwards, and I said, no matter what happened, I promise you ice will float to the top. No matter how much water is surrounded it, it will float to the top. So I'm going to be all right. I'm going to have a long career, and I knew I was. And I came in there with that 7-round mentality. I had just went 2nd round, and I just went a pick out to Drew Brees, and I'm still mad. And this shows you how intense that day is and how competitive that day is. And I don't know if it's because of bragging rights or what, because it's never how you enter the league. It's how you lead the league. And on my draft night, like I said, I was happy. I was mad. But I couldn't wait to get to the DMV because I had never been to the DMV. So it was one of them things. It was emotionally exhausting. But when I woke up the next morning, I was blessed. I was fine. I was enjoying it. And I couldn't wait to play the Cowboys because half of my family are Cowboy fans. So that's just the way it goes, living down south. And I used to give them tickets to the Cowboys game, and they would come and boo me. And I'm like, I'm your family. How you gonna show up at the Cowboy game and boo me? Luckily, my name Smoot sounds like the word boo, so it never bothers me. I use it as armor.
Well, I have to say we're very glad that you went when you went and came where you came. So it was just so much fun on the sidelines cheering you on, and then obviously now having you as part of the extended family after retirement. But I have to ask, like that first year, was there a particular hit or a particular play or something that happened where you're like, okay, yeah, this is definitely the pros. I'm not in college anymore.
Oh, it was my first game. I would never forget my first game. I'm a starter. My first game, I'm literally 20 years old, youngest person on the field, and the skinniest. And I would never forget, we were playing in San Diego, playing against Doug Flutie and Junior Seau. And I just remember sitting on the sideline while, they was on defense. And I was like, is it two Junior Seau's out there? He was literally making that many plays. I thought it was twins out there. And he was just an unstoppable force. And then as we got on the field and I'm playing against Doug Flutie and these guys that I just been watching for 5-10 years, idolizing, now I'm one of them. And I think that's the first thing that hits you on that first game. It's very sobering, but it's very, you still kind of starstruck. Like you're still looking around at the back of jerseys and names. And, I'm looking at the field like I've been wanting to play on this field forever. So it's still, you in shock and awe. But luckily my first game, I went out and got NFC Player of the Week. I had my first interception, my first fumble recovery, 8 tackles. So I got my pants dirty in that game. So that's the game that showed me that I belong, because all rookies are going to look for that game that shows them, all right, yeah, you dominated college, but you belong with the pros too.
Is the speed of the game that much faster? Like, did that hit you too, that first game?
It's a lot faster. Well, it ain't that it's so much faster than college. It's just no wasted steps in the NFL. All right. The one thing about it is in college, everybody ain't pro on this field. Now they're good, but they ain't pro. Now, when you get to the pros, even the last person on the roster is a star. He can make you look bad any given Sunday. So the thing about it is the pros don't waste steps. They don't, they always got a plan for every situation and everything. So it's not your athletic prowess that's going to help you dominate the league. It's your intelligence. And that's why a lot of people don't transition to the NFL well, because when they put this playbook in front of you with 500 plays in it, they ain't giving you no study hall. All right. We running these plays tomorrow. Everybody get here. Everybody get the job done. And everybody need to be crispy on their stuff. So it's more of a mental challenge than a physical challenge.
What did you do with your first paycheck?
My first paycheck is I removed my mama from the hood. All right. That was always my dream growing up. Is I'm a mama's boy. That's what it was. So I was like, all right, once she living good, I'm fine. I'll be all right. I'll get me an old tire house in Sterling. I'll be fine. But I want to make sure that I established her, got her not only a new house, of course you got to get a new car, and they love their Cadillacs. Don't women love their Cadillacs? So I had to get an old Cadillac. And, once I had her out in the suburbs, living her best life, now I could relax and go play my rookie year. So that's how I kind of want to set it up. First things first, take care of mom, take care of grandma. I worry about me last. So that's how I handle it.
Like you're getting major brownie points with Stephanie over here, our mama.
Well, this is the Wild Show. This is a show about women, dominated by women. So I'm talking about other women. So yeah, it all fits, right?
Yeah. For my two boys. So I'll be like, listen right here to this part.
Soundbite. This timestamp right here is what you want to do.
Oh, believe me, all these early mornings and these sack lunches and all the love you give them, that's what boys do. They live to want to repay that. They feel totally in debt about that when they shouldn't, because y'all love us anyway. But we always feel like, when I do achieve something, this is the reason why. These are the people why I got here.
Absolutely. Well, year one under Coach Ron Rivera is in the books, the second draft under his era. How are you feeling about this organization as we move into year two? I'm
feeling great. I don't think I ever felt this good about this organization when I played. For the first time, we have a brain trust in the front office that's showed that they can work together through anything. We have a head coach that's been through everything. He's won a Super Bowl. He's coached at the Super Bowl. He's beat cancer. He's done everything you could possibly do to show that he's a leader. And then everything, anytime I come over there now, everything is all football. And that's what it is. It's all football over there. No shenanigans, no none of that. They just rewriting the books when it comes to how to handle yourself as a Washington player. And then why it's all football is the head coach was a middle linebacker. The defensive coordinator lady was a middle linebacker. So therefore, the janitor was a middle linebacker. Everybody in the building, all they worry about is football, and you can feel it, and you can cut the tension with the action when you come over there. These guys are all business. This younger generation of Washington football players, all from Alabama, Ohio State, these guys are not used to losing. All right, so you losing culture ain't what they had. I tell people this all the time. It's the Washington football team. We have never lost to the Dallas Cowboys in our life. We have never lost to the Philadelphia Eagles in our life. Not one time. 100%. Never lost to these teams. All right, well, that's how they care about. They don't care about when I play. They care about now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, because I mean, the fans, that's what we care about, the here and now as well. Yeah, we can brag on, what happened in the past, but what really matters is the here and now. And then so kind of thinking about that and where you are now, if you had to kind of change anything professionally or personally, kind of what would it be, and what would your advice to yourself be kind of now where you are currently?
I wouldn't change none of the lessons. I wouldn't, you don't ever learn in life through the good times. The good times don't require no energy to enjoy. It's the bad times that shape you. That's when you learn lessons. That's when you change things. That's when you rearrange your priorities. It's when you go through some ups and downs. You show me somebody that never went through some ups and downs, and I show you somebody that's guaranteed to learn some lessons in the future. So I would think my lessons are what makes you. Your mistakes are what makes you, but who you are, it comes afterwards. You don't process yourself while you're going through the grinder. You process yourself after going through the grinder. Who am I now? What did I learn from them ups and downs? What did they teach me? And that's the key. So I would just tell my younger self, have some fun, young man, and keep it in the road.
Love that. And it just reminds me of something that Coach Rivera says on, an interview that I did with him. I was talking about win, lose, or draw. And he was like, no, it's win, learn, or draw. And
that's it. You never lose.
Yeah. Every single experience that you have, just like you said, even if it's a negative one, you just learn from it, and then it becomes a positive experience. So I love that you said that.
Yeah, because life ain't what you go through. It's how you process what you go through and what you build from when you go through it. Like, this is what people are always going to judge you about. People never judge you about your good times. Like I said, they only going to judge you in your worst situation. So don't let your worst situations define you, because they never will.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. I mean, and we could literally talk to you forever because you're so upbeat. You have so many amazing stories, and you seem to be just always happy. So like, what motivates you? So like, how is it that you always arrive with a smile, upbeat? What gets you going and keeps you going?
Well, you know what? Like I said, when you're a grandma, babies, and they teach you these lessons in life, she always told me your energy can dictate a room. If you come in here with bad energy, it can set the tone for a room. If you come in here with good energy, it can set the tone for a room. So every day that I walk in, I feel blessed. Come on, as a people on this earth, this last year has taught us appreciate every day. Good, bad, in between, appreciate life. So me, myself, every day that I wake up with a smile on my face. Like, people never know when I'm ever going through anything, because I'm still smiling then. I just think at the end of the day, you can control your mood, and you can control your desires, and you can control how much you want something to go out there and achieve it. But everything else, if I can't control it, I don't worry about it. I don't let it worry me. I just keep on going my life, and I'm gonna enjoy myself, and I'm gonna dictate the spirit that's around me. And I'm always gonna be a good spirit, good kindred spirit, and keep good energy flowing.
Yeah, your energy and your vibes are rubbing off on me. I'm about to go conquer the day. I'm feeling fired.
Make the best out of this day. We won't get this day back. That's a promise. But we do know we can't replay this day. We can't redo this day. So walk into that day with a smile and walk out with a smile. And you'll forget you even had problems most of the time.
Like, amen. We need like a Fred Smoot words of affirmation to be played every morning. So if you want to work on that.
Get up. You got work. Smile about that work.
That's great. That's a good start. Well, Fred, it has been an absolute pleasure having you. We're definitely going to have you back when we get into football season for sure. But for our listeners, can you plug where they can follow you? What shows they can look for you on?
Twitter at FSmoot, And Sean T 21, that's my boy, all day long. Gonna keep his memory alive. You can find me on Instagram at Smoot 27. And you can really find me talking some good trash with my great friend Chick Hernandez at the Chicken Smoot podcast. Believe me, you will not be left unentertained. It's a great show. It's great fun. And of course, you can find me all over the Washington Network because I'm constantly in with Julie Donaldson, having fun with everybody. And you can catch me on the Wild Show every once in a while when they let me in, all right?
Yeah, you're going to be a reoccurring guest for sure on the Wild. I'm guaranteeing that.
Well, you got an Alabama front back there, so you know it's SEC against everybody, but I'm still looking to the left a little bit because I'm old Bulldog.
I almost brought that cowbell out for you.
I got a cowbell here. Don't make me ring it. My neighbors wouldn't like it.
Well, thank you so much, Pep, for joining the Wild.
Hey, thank you.
A new decade demands a new kind of wine. As consumers continue to embrace healthier lifestyles with beverages that taste great and keep in line with their dietary preferences, and wine is no exception. Fresh Vine Wine thoughtfully crafts great tasting premium wines that are low calorie, low carb, low sugar, keto, vegan friendly, and gluten free. Fresh Vine Wines pairs perfectly with your active lifestyle without sacrificing on taste. Available in select stores in DC and Maryland.
You can hear every Washington football team game on the Team 980 and streaming on the radio.com app. Listen to Team 980 every day for expert analysis, Washington football guests, and your calls along with hosts Kevin Sheehan, Washington football legend Brian Mitchell, Steve Zabin, and more on the official radio of home of the Washington football team. Download the radio.com app and favorite the Team 980 today to listen on your phone or smart speaker. We are heading into Wow Overtime. I am still like blushing red and my abs hurt from laughing so much at Fred. He is just such a hoot. And like he said, he's just such a light and a force and energy to have as part of our Washington football extended family. So we are going to kick it over to Stephanie to talk about our Wow events for May.
Sure. And I agree with you. Every time we talk with Smoot, he's just one of those people you want to be around and you want to talk to. He's so much fun. So glad he was with us today. For WOW, we are having an event Wednesday, May 19th. This is our behind the scenes presented by Washington Times. This time we're talking about the X's and O's of plays. So we're going to put together our own WOW play to suggest a coach, see if he takes it. We'll have one of our Washington football team coaches join us this evening and we'll talk about how they make plays. We'll speak with the Washington Times reporter, Julie Donaldson, and one of our alumni, most likely Sean Springs, will help us as well with coming up with our own play. So it is limited registration in person, FedEx Field. Very excited to see all of you ladies.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to be there. Like just being back at FedEx Field for our draft party was so much fun. So everyone, if you want to join us, you have to do it quick. You have to RSVP fast because I know those spots are going to fill up. And just as a reminder or kind of like a heads up for the month of May, it is Military Appreciation Month. So our next guest, an amazing woman, amazing leader, an amazing mom, Commander Chief Master Sergeant Jamisa Barnes. She is and holds the 9th and highest enlisted rank in the U.S. Air Force. So it's definitely a conversation that you're going to want to be a part of. So be sure to tune in next week.
I'm going to need to dust off my coaching football textbook from college to get ready for May 19th, just so I can get ready in there to draw the X's and O's. Right. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us here on The Wow, where we connect and empower women through sports. Huge thanks to our partners at Fresh Vine Wine. Till next time. See ya.
For more than 100 years, Chesapeake Employers Insurance has been helping Maryland businesses keep their workers safe. With competitive pricing and an AM Best A- financial strength rating, it's no surprise that Chesapeake Employers is Maryland's largest writer of workers' comp insurance.
At the end of every workday, someone's waiting for your safe return.
Connect with your agent or visit CEIWC.com.
Novak is powering a new generation by providing renewable energy, including solar. Once new solar projects are completed in 2023, Novak will provide enough to power 100,000 homes. Members may also purchase solar panels now through Novak Solutions, protecting the environment, providing reliable, safe, affordable electricity. Because future generations are depending on it. Novak, keeping life bright.
Somewhere in Maryland, Dr. X unleashes his scratch-off masterpiece.
Load the prizes, Cashbot.
Done, Doctor.
Now multiply them.
50 times?
More.
100 times?
Yes, 100 times the cash.
That's $1 million top prize.
Zap, Cashbot, zap.
It's alive.
It's beautiful.
Play all 5 new X multiplier scratch-offs from the Maryland Lottery like nothing we've created before. Play safely and responsibly.